welcome back to another episode of Intro to, and obviously this is a very, 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 very special episode because we have a baddie in the building. Oh my gosh, a real life baddie, not like an incel baddie like me and Molly, like a real life baddie. Yeah. A real life baddie.
Like we had airport checks and they were doing like a full body scan and the alarms went off and they said,
they were like, what are you carrying in the back?
Yeah.
Open.
There's bombs.
You got 2 circular bombs.
Hey, I never said this. This is how we make our
No, but she the bomb. That's why she's here. And it's Meg.
Yay!
Yay! And if you don't know Meg, she does a show on LSR called Old New Borrowed Blue.
That's so true, I do.
Yes, you do. And,
and it's amazing.
And it's amazing.
And it's been award nominated and won.
Yeah, I won an award for best owned show / podcast branding.
Yeah, you did.
So that's a slay.
Yeah,
it does.
And I dressed on brand to the event as well. I was such a little neek.
And
they said nobody else said anything when they went up to accept the award. And they were like, "Would you like to say anything?" I was like, "Yeah, actually, I would." No, I was like, "Just want to say I'm dressed on theme, guys," and I literally won for branding.
Oh,
and then I went back and sat in my seat, drank a sip of my wine, and I was like, "Why'd I do that?"
Yeah.
No.
Anxiety
But see
kicking
how
in.
everyone applauded though when you did it. I was in the audience like,
literally
loving
it.
Thanks for gassing me up so much, though, guys.
We need to make sure that the people that walk into our meeting room, they're feeling good, happy, amazing. It's like an interview when they start like asking you how your day was, and then they ask you the hardest question in the world. You're like, oh, I thought we were friends.
They were like, so like, what do you bring to the table? Also, if there was a fire and I was burning, my corpse was like just burning to a crisp, would you remember me? And then you're like,
oh,
so I did DV, which I think would help actually.
And it's like, oh, you're in this meeting room, how many tennis balls can fit in here?
Yeah.
Approximately. And you're like, yeah. So actually, when I studied RS in A level, basically we actually learned about this theory, and it's like, oh, you didn't get the job, baby.
So, because I had a job interview actually fairly recently, for a job in Brighton over the summer, and I got it, Slay.
Yay!
It's really fun. But like, it was a Zoom interview, and I've never it was actually on Teams. Haven't used Teams since lockdown, I think.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hey. And I was like, what's the professional code for that?
Yeah.
Like, do I dress? Like, do I do the whole, like, you know when people, it's like Zoom office outfits and it's like cool, like office top and like pajama bottoms. And I was like, do I like do that? Like, what do I do?
Yeah.
But then he was just quite friendly, really. And I felt like I was just kind of sat there like, yeah, hi.
Yeah, it's really hard to talk on Zoom because you get cut off. So it's like,
oh my God,
you want to say something and it's like, oh, sorry, I didn't hear that. What was that last bit? And that's a good thing when you're in an interview because you can like pretend that you didn't hear. Like, sorry, you cut out. Can you repeat the question when you're already thinking of the answer?
Literally.
Yeah.
But
I shamelessly ask people to repeat anyway. Like even in an in-person interview, I'm like, sorry, just give me a second to think, or would you mind like rephrasing the question? It's the confidence. You gotta be confident.
That genuinely,
because then it shows you're at least trying to listen.
No, it's so true because I saw a life hack on a you know those like life hack like Instagram videos, and it's like how to be more professional. Instead of going I don't know, ask, can you please rephrase that? And it's got like the woman
actually.
And it's got like the woman like before, and she's like disorganized, and it's got a big cross emoji, and it's like how not to do it, and then it's got a tick emoji on how to do it, and it's like, actually, can you please rephrase that? And she's got a professional outfit.
Yeah,
Shein.
Yeah. Baddie. No, literally, my interview, my most recent one, I got the job, so like, let's not spread this shit about too much. But I knew my Wi-Fi was not reliable, and I was rubbing my hands at that. Like every single time my Wi-Fi would cut off at a hard question, and I'd like be like, shit, what the fuck do I say? What do I say? And then it literally cut back in, and I'd be like, and that's what I think, yeah. And he'd be like, okay, okay, on to the next one. And I'd be like,
Yes. W's.
Love.
Okay, but the reason we are here today is obviously not to chat shit about job interviews because everybody's got to work.
Yeah.
But actually, we're talking about a topic that's come from a lot of things. It's come from a lot of disappointment that has aged over time. It's come from aging.
No, actually, I think it's exciting, actually.
Oh, see, this is where we differ.
See, I would also think it's exciting.
All right,
Sorry,
guys,
Molly.
drive me out.
But we're talking about evolution today, or as Molly would say, evolution.
That's why I wasn't saying the word,
Evolution.
because I was like, I'm going to say it wrong.
No, a lot of people do. It's not wrong. It's just different.
Yeah.
I don't really know. It depends what crowd I'm in. It depends what crowd I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
I really have to survey the crowd and be like, "Ooh."
Yeah, sometimes she gets like insecure about her accent.
It's true, guys.
And it's
No,
so
you're
sad.
a northern baddie. Never be insecure about your accent.
Literally,
Guys,
if
I'm
I say
feeling the love.
evolution, say evolution.
Evolution.
Yes. And basically, we're talking about people that we've seen from like when we knew them as sweet little girls, sweet little guys, sweet little people. And now they're so different. But is it different in a bad way? I personally don't think so. But I think it's like exciting to watch them change and become who they are now. And we can also see it within ourselves as well.
Yeah.
Like how we're changing. Because I know that how I am now is not going to be how I am in like 5-10 years in the future. And to put some notable names out there, we're thinking Ariana Grande, we're thinking flipping Cynthia Erivo, we're thinking Timothy Chalamet, we're thinking Jacob Elordi, we're thinking Kylie Jenner, shout out King
gosh.
Kylie.
Actually,
So
Kylie Jenner.
Kylie.
Yeah.
There's so many people.
Chloe Money.
Literally Chloe Money.
Chloe Money.
Chloe Money. I feel like those...
Khloe Kardashian.
Yeah. So literally there's so many people that have changed, but like they're not really changing into like specific archetypes that we know. Like they're kind of branching out into their own like little thing, and I think that's why the press and the media are so like fixated around them, because they're doing things that they wouldn't expect them to do, because the press and media is expecting, well, I think they were expecting Timothy Chalamet to just become like Kylie's boyfriend, but he's still like doing his own thing, etc., etc. But we're gonna get into that after we ask Meg a couple questions. And this is a very serious interview, so I don't know why you're laughing.
Yeah, actually, lock him.
Literally,
I am. I'm sat.
Oh,
hey guys, we're talking about the tension in here.
You're trapped in.
You're
Can't
trapped
leave.
in. It's like that tension you have between your boss. Question mark?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you are my boss for this episode.
Hey!
I'm here forevermore, I guess.
This is the first time our roles have actually been instated. I feel
That's
superior.
not true. When we had our intern shout, Ayana shout, Tao shout,
Oh
Ollie,
yeah, actually.
literally.
Rip. Will you remember me?
I thought you were singing the Fast and Furious song.
Oh no, sorry.
How does it go?
It's been a long day without you, my friend.
Hey,
You can see who's musical theatre in this room.
literally just one of us.
Yeah, exactly.
One of us. No, you stop singing now, because I will carry on.
Okay, quick fire.
Okay, first of all, before we start, you must answer immediately after the question is said.
First thought.
And you can't explain your answer. I don't want to hear like, because just say the first thing that comes to your head.
Yeah. If you cancelled, you're cancelled.
You're cancelled,
You've got to stick by it.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm not a very quick thinker generally, but I'll just be like, and then, and then
Can you repeat the question actually?
No, literally repeat that, please.
Sorry, you cut out there?
Yeah. No, we're not.
Okay. Molly's starting.
Okay. Be prepared. They do escalate.
Oh my God, okay.
What's your star sign?
Libra.
Okay. What's your go-to meal deal?
Oh, like a pasta pot, maybe a goo cheesecake when I'm feeling fancy. And I literally pretty much always get a smoothie to get my money's worth. It'll probably be the recharge one because I'm always ill.
Green flag. Could you survive Devil Wears Prada?
No.
Do you openly discriminate against maths as a subject?
maths,
the equations.
Honestly, a bit.
Yeah. You have the option to kill all film bros. Are you taking it?
So many of them are my friends, so I'm gonna have to say no, but like a little bit, yeah.
Just say half of them, like a slight massacre.
Yeah, I'm saying 50-50.
Like just maybe like a few injured.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe injury, maybe not death.
Yeah.
Literally love you, my friends, if they do happen to listen to this. Really sorry.
Injury, not death.
Yep.
That's the prescription. Okay. Theatre kids, overrated, underrated.
Underrated.
Favorite film?
I have so many. I'm just gonna say one. Sound of Music.
Today's brekkie.
Vanilla Crown and a coffee from Co-op, one of the little iced coffees.
Are you biting or licking ice cream on a cone?
Licking ice cream on a cone.
And what was around the time that you started listening to Intro 2?
It was your first episode. I listened to your first episode, but I'm going to be honest, I haven't listened consistently. I've listened to maybe like 5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah,
that's strong,
dedication. And the first one is, that was a rough episode.
Yeah.
That was...
When we look back... Yeah, literally, it's crazy.
It's evolution!
Evolution.
We look back and we're like, oh, our first episode. And people are like, no, it's cute. Like, okay. Okay. You know, everyone's got their own taste. Whatever. So yeah, evolution. How do you feel like you yourself have evolved?
Oh, literally hugely. It's so weird because like I just feel like I'm a completely different person to when I first started feeling like a real person. Yeah. Which was, I think I became sentient at maybe like 15.
Oh, so you haven't reached enlightenment is what I'm hearing.
But like I then like now I look back and I'm like, oh no, like girl, you were a child, like you were not a real person at all.
No, literally.
And I'm like, I actually only became a real person maybe at 19. I want to say,
it's crazy, isn't it? It's like when I was like 15, when I was even 13, I was like, why am I adulting right now?
No, so real. Hard. I was sat watching beauty gurus on YouTube, doing my makeup, thinking, I'm going to be a makeup artist because I'm that good. I'm as good as them. Literally. And I was like, yeah, I'm literally a real girl.
You turn 20 and you're like, I need to go to the reduced section of Co-op and get my meal.
Yeah, I was literally looking at Zoella and I was like, okay, so that's so simple. She started being like a beauty guru when she was like 18. So all I need to do is just hop on YouTube when I'm 18 and then I'll be a billionaire by literally 22. Okay, chill.
Bring out a calendar with glitter in.
I'm
like,
literally literally advent calendar with literally glitter in all 25 boxes.
Maybe like a gingerbread candle.
Literally.
In the last one.
And we'll actually let's charge £80 for that.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
Yeah. That's how you become a millionaire. You have to put in that grind, guys.
Yeah.
Ever since you're 18. And yeah, I do feel that way as well, that I didn't feel like I was real. No. Now looking back in hindsight, like like literally you were doing nothing. It's crazy.
Like really was not a person.
Yeah. I was just collecting memories to look back on now.
No,
fondly.
I don't even have any like memories. I've like blocked out so much of it. Like I can just remember like crying at my GCSE Spanish speaking because I thought my like whole world was over. And I was
That's
like,
so valid though. At that
so
point
funny.
it is. At that point it is.
It's a surprise question. That's what gets you.
Yeah.
In the
I was so anxious about that. I was like, I don't do surprises like that.
Yeah.
No, it was actually my A-level history. I blanked out basically all of my year 13 because of such a traumatic event of sitting down in A-levels and doing my history question and it being a German question and it being written in the German form of like this like English word and me getting confused and talking about the wrong thing for 2 hours in my essay.
Did you clock or you didn't clock until
you know what it was? I put down my pen and I thought I fucking aced that. Like I had statistics, I remembered everything because I was up on my Germany. And then a girl turned around and went, wasn't that crazy that they talked about East Germany instead of West? And I was like, and this girl was she was the girl in the class, so you were like, she's not wrong.
Yeah.
And I literally, I saw all my grades flash from my eyes, and I was like,
That's why that happened to me in my religious studies one, and I was, oh my gosh, this is literally like the worst thing. Is that there's 3 questions that you can pick from, and you pick one in the philosophy exam. And I picked the hardest question because it was, I don't know, I just didn't read them all. I just picked the hardest question, and I thought that I remembered everything about it. I got halfway through writing it. I was like, okay, wait, I don't have any statistics. I can't remember any quotes. Like, I literally don't know anything about this. And then I had to start, oh my gosh, I don't want to talk about this. This is actually traumatic. But yeah, and then I left, and everyone was like, why would you even write about that? Like, that's the hardest thing to write about.
That's the worst thing.
And I'm just like, listen,
it's like you're not thinking straight in that situation.
Yeah, you are not.
You aren't.
Like, no amount of a mock exam could have prepared me for what it actually feels like to be in there. So leave me alone.
It's literally like you're holding your pen, trembling, like, oh, when I'm like 40 and I have no job and like I can't afford anything because I just failed all school and like I never succeeded in anything. I'm gonna be like looking back on this history exam like, damn.
And like, it's never that deep.
It really
it's never that deep.
But they make you feel like it. To be fair, it's not just you. Like, it's all the teachers at your school being like, this is gonna make or break your life.
No, like, it's literally the make or break.
No.
Oh, let's make or break you. Get out. Leave. Literally. Fired.
Where's your evolution, babe?
No, literally.
Where's your evolution? My favourite evolution, in my opinion, is one of my faves is Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, the chimney sweep himself.
Literally, Molly calls him chimney sweep because this is actually crazy that we're letting people into our inside joke, which is insane. But Molly calls him Molly calls him chimney sweep because she said he looks like frail.
Doesn't he look like a little chimney sweep boy?
Like a little chimney
like he'd be scampering up the little
pipes,
right?
Yeah, a little.
It's his hair in flipping French Dispatch.
He looks like he's been electrocuted all the time, bless him. Yeah. And he just sucked the colour out of him as well.
And it's when he had the deep
the deep under eyes.
The deep under eyes and the chisel. It was
giving you rock bread.
Yeah. Gruel. Gruel boy.
Wow.
But I feel like where he started, obviously we've got little Timmy Tim.
He's literally just a theatre kid.
Statistics, which is crazy. Yeah. I don't know. I find that so funny. Like, can you imagine Timothy Chalamet just being that like little,
like
little,
the weird, like
the weird
drama boy? And I really can imagine it.
Yeah, no, literally.
And it's like, oh, like you can actually get places being like that.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, it's like, love that.
Yeah, because I remember, like, I kind of knew. Do you remember that? This is actually the craziest thing I've ever said on the pod. Do you remember there was this guy that we all know that kind of was like a Timothy Chalamet.
Who is this?
A Timothy Chalamet, like, you know, little reproduction.
Okay. I'm not clocking on yet, but I'll clock.
You will clock on because... And he's now, like, the point is that these people exist.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Yes, I knew it.
And he's now, like, you know, going to where he's going. And I feel like those people exist in real life. And when I first met him, I was like, oh, this little, like, you know, little eccentric little guy. But... he's still like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's possible. And he just kind of reminds me of like that next generation, like, of people that are continuing to, you know, be a little Timothy Chalamet. And like, I think also what I like about,
Yes.
Sorry, yeah.
Pennies dropped.
No, but I never met him, but I know who he is.
Yeah.
And he is exactly, well, I do think that he watched Call Me By Your Name and was like, writing notes.
It's a shame that like pen was burning.
Literally. I do think that like vulnerability that Timothy Chalamet has to say to people like this is who I want to be and this is where I want to go. I think it's very brave and different. And I think a lot of people, like little boys now, are not little boys, but like 17-year-olds now are looking at him as like an example of what it's like to be like heterosexual man, but also like successful in drama in a way that is not like, you know, I'm Walter White. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a way that's like more sensitive, but also like, and I also think that his like evolution has also solidified. Someone else was talking about this. Oh my gosh, shout out. Who should I shout out? Lily from my work, who actually also does LSR breakfast. She was like, one of her friends was saying, because he's actually, or was this Upstairs Neighbours? Hey, either one. They were saying that because he's like a boy and he's bagged the baddest baddie of them all, it's like another solidification to the next generation of like teenage boys that like you can still be sensitive, do drama and be like that type of archetype, but also bag the baddest baddie of them all.
Yeah, Kylie Jenner out of everyone, like that's like the extremist of
exactly
the extreme.
Yeah, that's like baddie. That's not like, you know, because Lily Rose Depp was kind of his vibe.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
yeah. And I remember so many girls being like really pissed off when he got with Kylie Jenner.
Slurpee.
And I was like, grow up. Like,
no, literally.
Why is a man not allowed? Like, I don't get it. I was just like, she's such a baddie.
No, literally.
A businesswoman, a mother.
Yeah.
She's so good and she's so smart.
Yeah.
Like, who wouldn't want her?
Yeah, that's the thing. Immediately, like, obviously there is going to be people in the family that like aren't up to the highest spec, but like you can't just group all the Kardashians and the Jenners together and be like, oh yeah, they're all stupid, because like everyone was hopping on Kendall's dick. Like everyone was hopping on Kendall's dick, and then when she cut that cucumber, like everyone hopped
literally
off.
Everyone hopped off. And I feel like we were talking about this in another episode, that like everything that you know about celebrities is only what they give you. So you can't be like, oh, this is my celebrity because this that. The only thing we know about Timothée Chalamet is from what he's given us. Like it could all, and as we've seen, it's kind of like, sorry, I need to burp. But it's all like a little persona that he does, and we eat it up every single time. Like when he was like doing the Call Me by Your Name press, he was very like, I don't know, like little guy, like little
he was
guy,
very like
French guy.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Fun and like
when he was doing Bones and All, he was kind of a bit more reserved in interviews. Like it's all a persona that they give us. So I don't know, like feeling such an affinity to a celebrity to the point where you get mad at who they're dating is actually
so
insane.
Real.
Yeah.
But then also like I kind of this was a big part of like my evolution actually, is that I used to like literally put my favorite celebrities on such a pedestal. Like I would be like somebody would be like, I don't like Harry Styles when I was like 14, and I'd be like, well, I don't like you, like I think you're horrible, how can you not like Harry Styles? And I look back and I'm like, what on earth was I thinking? But also like I just felt such a like connection to these people that I just didn't know at all. And it's like, what, like I think it's just something to look up to, something to cling on to.
Yes.
But like now I have such a like widened perspective that I'm like, they are literally just human beings.
Yeah.
I do think that a lot of the people that are mad at Timothée Chalamet are quite young. Because if you are older than flipping 18 years old, like get over it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's weird.
I think it's when you're growing up and like, I know for me, so much speaking for me actually, but like I had the same thing with celebrities, and I found that like I felt like I lacked so much identity that I was like clinging onto a root of like image. And like even if it's just someone you're attracted to, you kind of trying to figure out your sexuality and like what you like and everything like that. So like once you find a little speck of something, you're like, this is mine, I will feast on this. Because going back to my Finn Wolfhard days,
oh my god, I also had those days.
Yes, I had those days. Do you remember that one edit where it's like I'm up oh my gosh, I'm literally gonna find it, because if you know, you know.
Like I worshipped. And like when I was
Literally
younger,
same.
all of my home friends can back this. When I was younger, I used to be hyper fixated on a new person every time. It even bled a little bit into like first year, like not in the same translation, but kind of like I'd be like, oh my god, I'm obsessed with this artist for a week. And
wait, did you come straight from
yeah,
because I was gonna say I feel like mine bled slightly into my year off before uni, because I feel like it's that age where I really started like stepping back from the situation and being
literally.
like,
actually. And I think it's when you do stuff like this, like obviously you'll know from doing like radio, when you are like sat in someone's shoes of someone you admire, or you go on stage and you do like a performance, you're like, oh, because why did I literally just do what they did, obviously on like a smaller scale, and it wasn't that deep. Like
because
it's
and it's like really, because I'm like, I love it, like one of the best things I've ever done, but then I'm also like, that's just how they must just feel when they like do something that, like, because it's just a job at the end of the day.
Yes.
Like, it's just different. Like
they're just working. They're just working.
working.
It's just this accolade that comes with it that everyone loves. You don't love their job, you love their accolade. Like that's pretty much what comes from it. And I feel like that's the evolution of people being like how they view celebrities, and I feel like it's greatly changed now. Shout out Wattpad.
No,
shout out AO3.
I do think that it's changed in like a different way. I feel like back in the day, it used to be like very much, I feel like the fans used to be a lot more like, I don't know, like actually present. Do you know what I mean? Because now it's like an online presence, which is different, but it's still overwhelming. But like it used to be, if you were at a hotel, there'd be 15,000 people outside your hotel. They would find where you're at and they would go there, or they would send you like letters and cards and stuff like that. It's very much like that type of physical stuff. But now it's like online, it's a little bit more stalkery. Like it's like find out where you live, like doxing you and stuff like that, and it's just weird.
There's a lot of like power to it now.
I feel like
there was. I think there was a lot more of a like the celebrities, like as like when there's a lot of fans surrounding someone, like physically, it's overwhelming. But then there'd be like security guards and stuff. Like I think the celebrity was always in more power, and I think they like inherently are, but it's kind of different now that there's a lot of like creepy tools that you can use to like find things out about people.
And not even that, like using their face and like planting them on
oh
AI
my
stuff,
God,
or like making them talk to you. I can't imagine how that would be as a celebrity, because to hear your voice, like even in the like joke ones where they're like, I called Ice Spice and stuff like that, Ice Spice delivery or something like that.
But it's like freaky.
That's funny that someone's using it in that funny sense, but in the back of your mind, you're also thinking like, there's probably someone out there who's using it in a creepy sense. Like, you know, I don't know, like talking to me when they go to bed. Like, that's so weird.
Oh my God, yeah.
So I think it's definitely getting worse, like the fan thing, and it's going down like a really perverse route. Like it obviously, like you did have like perverts in the back in the day, and it would be scary because they could like, I don't know, send you stuff. But now it's like, you know,
now you can be a pervert from your own home, which is so much more accessible to everyone else. Like I remember when I was like such a fan of people and it wasn't that bad, but now like as I step back and I kind of look at like everyone now, I'm like, it has gone, it is evolved into something greater. Like, oh my gosh, even this I laugh at this, but back in the day when I was like 12, I was like obsessed with Pedro Pascal. Like this is before. And I was like, I'm bored, let me edit a little picture. But that's the thing though, like, why are you as a child sat there fucking editing a picture of you and a 50-year-old man? Get real, revise for your GCSEs. But now it's like there's like people will just do that and like post it on their Instagram. Like there's this one girl on TikTok that's actually kind of funny, and she like has a relationship, quotation marks, with every celebrity, and like she's like editing herself into them, and she's like, don't leave me today, and I'm like, but it's true though. It's like, I don't know, people are just
technology has allowed people to be like perverts.
Technology has evolved.
Literally. Yes. And in the future, like, I don't even know how that's going to look.
It's so
because I feel like
scary.
with the little like sex bots, I feel like you're gonna be able to have like a sex bot that looks like your favorite celebrity.
No, literally,
yeah.
100%.
And that's just like,
That's
it really
weird.
creeps me out.
Yeah.
That's weird. Also someone who's like gotten a lot of shit for their evolution, which I think is like insane, is Ariana Grande ? Like, why do people hate her evolution? I feel as though her evolution, some of her stages in her evolution have been a bit rocky. Shout out Arigato Arigato Grande, Blackiana Grande, Hijabi Grande. Like, she's been in the cultural appropriation pot for a little while.
Yeah.
She's been picking and tasting from different people's pots. She's been making her own
fun
soup.
doing a bit too much.
Exactly. Yeah. She's been sticking her grape into the cheese, into the chocolate, into the like, literally calm down. Calm down. You don't need to have all the appetizers. Anywho, but I do think like the stage that she's at now, I feel like a lot of people are calling it like artifice and saying that like the way that she's presenting like super femme is not real or whatever. I just feel like, again, with like what we know from celebrities, you don't know anything. You don't know if the person that you felt like you knew was a persona, and then the people and the person that they're
like you never
now.
you never know when they're being paid to do what they're doing. Like you never know what's actually them and what is like just their job.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I just feel like just let her do what she wants to do.
Literally, and especially because she's playing such like a feminized character.
Yeah.
Like, can you put two and two together and realize that maybe for the press, maybe?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
They would come at her and be like, oh, she's like da da da. If her like persona outside of that movie was like more masculinized and like she was a bit more edgy, and they'd be like, well, I can't envision her to play Glinda, because how can you become Glinda if you're like this?
But it's like when Margot Robbie was wearing a different Barbie outfit to every single premiere, everybody was eating it up. And nobody was like, well, there were obviously people that were giving her shit for it, but like the majority was like, baddie, love this new look. And it's like that's just what people do to like get into a role and like promote a role.
No, literally.
It's like lean into it.
Yeah.
Also, and that's only what she's doing.
Like, it's like the whole thing of like, oh, I'm sat in a great room for this, but like you guys will understand it more than anyone. When you're in a role and like then you leave it, it's like you still linger with it a little bit. Obviously,
oh my God,
like you've been rehearsing so much with it, like you've had shows with it, like you've really had to get into the mind of like ultimately like a different person. So then like obviously you're gonna do like you're gonna hold a few mannerisms or like hold a few tastes, especially like with the show I did, like I didn't have to change any of my wardrobe, so it wasn't that. But say like I found a style that I liked through a different character. Yeah. Like if she was wearing pink and she was like, actually pink is my shit.
Yeah. Like, real, because literally this is like in between first, I think the first time I did Rat House and the second time, one of my friends Izzy, who was in the first Rat House with me, we were walking along opposite sides of what's it called, Otley Road, like near where like Hyde Park pub is, and she shouted Meg and I didn't hear her, and then she went Vicky, which is my character name, and I heard her and I responded. Whoa. Because it's like that I'm responding to that quite a lot, that it's like you just kind of and then we laughed about that for so long, and I obviously still bring it up because I think it's so funny. But also like I can imagine what it's like to be a celebrity, just like leaning into the role you're doing.
And this with celebrities also, if we think about that from like us, because we're all like theatre people, doing like little Molly's crying because she had to leave her persona of being a cool girl and become a nasty a grubby little theatre kid. But yeah, we're all theatre people, and like if even on our level we can say that like our characters, like you fall in love with your character regardless, and like when you're preparing for a role, like that person is always on your brain, and you're listening to music and you're thinking, would my character like this? You're doing this and you're going, would my character like this? So to them on their scale, when it's literally their job and they have to and they're getting paid for it. If I was getting paid for Dance Nation and I had to think about my character, I would not only think about my character, I would then emulate my character in everything that I do, the way that I talk, because I'm getting paid for it.
I was literally doing that with Rat House and I was not getting paid, but I did get kind of a professional credit for it at Fringe.
Yeah.
I think you do.
Yeah, you do.
I don't really know how it works.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. When that was like my whole life, I was doing that.
Yeah.
We were making playlists. We were thinking about what she'd be having for
Yeah.
breakfast.
Literally, no, yeah. And I didn't even understand this because obviously I'd never been involved in it before. But it is like when you join a play and you're doing all those silly little games that are like, oh, like shout out Jam. Actually, Jam is like the head of doing shit like this. But like,
shout out Jam.
Shout out Jam.
But it's
Jam
like,
don't even listen.
We'll get Jam to listen to this one.
But it's like the little games when they're like, oh, say you're at a school meeting, how would your character react to like getting a bad grade or something like that?
Yeah.
And it's like you literally come up with like
the nichest law.
the nichest, like they're like, so what would be the intention behind the character doing this and this and this? And you really have to get into the headspace.
Yeah.
And like for me, that was like one of the most difficult things. But it's like, I feel like when you take on something different like that, especially with a lot of actors, when you take on a different role like that, like it evolves you as a person because you're like, you're having to really gain this like larger sense of empathy and this like, I don't know, this really going in someone else's shoes and going in an imaginary person's shoes most of the time as well, like especially if the character hasn't been established, if it's like for OT, even more, so difficult. You want to be in like what the director has in mind, but then you're like, I also interpret it a different way, and it's no wonder everyone's evolving at such the rate they are, because like, listen, if I was an actor,
you're taking on another evolution at the same time.
Exactly.
You're taking on another character's evolution. Literally, it's like speeding it up.
Yeah.
The last couple of people that I want to talk about, Jacob Elordi. Yeah. From his beginnings in flipping Euphoria
and Kissing Booth.
No, Kissing Booth. Literally Kissing Booth.
Why have I forgotten Kissing Booth?
Never forget Kissing Booth.
Love Kissing Booth.
I had such a hyperfixation on him in Kissing Booth. Literally. And like, I didn't even enjoy Kissing Booth. I just loved him.
No, that's so valid. Valid.
Kissing Booth annoyed me because actually but the main character, okay.
The whole personality of the character is a little bit annoying.
So annoying. But like, it was just so funny because it was like, where is this gonna go? Like,
no, there was still something pulling me in.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
They're on Kissing Booth like 3 or 4, and I was like, oh, whatever.
You could tell Jacob Elordi was so sick of it by the end. Because he was going into his Euphoria era. Then he was like, get me out of this shitty.
Then he went into Euphoria, played literally
the opposite.
Opposite. Well,
not the
he
opposite.
was still
manipulative,
like just with a bit more evidence.
Yeah. Lots
more evidence.
Lots more evidence. Yeah.
But it was crazy that like it wasn't necessarily crazy, but he aged with the audience that used to watch him.
Yeah.
Which is weird because when everyone was going into their little bit more emo phase and Euphoria was like dragging them in.
Literally, like the people that were watching Kissing Booth ended up watching Euphoria.
Yeah.
And then they also ended up watching
at the perfect time,
Priscilla as well.
Exactly, the Priscilla ones. Yeah, you're just targeting like queer people right now.
And now he's working on Frankenstein with that flipping Frankenstein boot.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on Frankenstein. Wow. Shout out to my friend who gave me a cheeky little hint. Thanks.
Throwback to when we all thought he was gonna be flipping American Psycho.
That was you know what?
Bateman.
Every single time this rumor comes out, I just laugh at the person who tells me, because then it was Austin Butler, and I said, "It's not happening. It's not happening. It's a lie. Shut up. Don't be stupid."
Literally,
me.
So stupid. Me literally posting the rumors. Oh my gosh, guys!
Literally,
Jacob Elordi is Patrick Bateman for Luca Guadagnino's new movie. It's not happening.
Don't be stupid. It's never happening. But yeah, like he. Obviously, visually, he's had an evolution.
Yeah.
Because,
he used to be a little frail, but now he's like,
now he's reverting back, though. Now he looks like he'd be in The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
And Robert Pattinson, like,
no, but
he's growing that beard.
He's gotten rid of it.
No, but he's got the sideburns now.
Well.
And then, oh my God, I just think the jump from playing Kissing Booth to Elvis is crazy.
I just remembered something that I did. It's just about Jacob
Elvis.
Elordi, because he I like posted a posy picture on my Instagram when I was like 15 that I used what's that little film camera app?
Visco.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I think it was Visco or something. And then I was like, probably looking at Jacob Elordi or something when I was like 14. Oh my God. Sorry, that really took me back.
Well,
it's a safe space. It's a safe space.
Probably am. And finally, Cynthia Erivo. Baddie shot o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the baddiness that you have to go bold permanently.
Oh my God, yeah.
Is like, you wish you could.
Yeah.
Do you know
and
what I
I
mean?
wish I could.
You wish you could. Like you wish you could tap your head and like
with the nails.
With
and
the
like,
nails.
no eyebrows too. Like
literally.
I wish I had that, because I naturally have no eyebrows, and I'm like, I wish I had the baddie face to be able to be like, serve, and like have no doubts about it. Do you know what I mean?
Have any of you watched Chewing Gum?
No.
Oh, because
Chewing Gum was what I like. Chewing Gum was like my childhood, though. Even though I didn't watch it, my brother was obsessed with Chewing Gum.
What is Chewing Gum?
It's a TV show. The way I describe it is like a black Fleabag. She's very it follows this character who's very like outspoken, very like, you know, eccentric. Like she's an eccentric black girl, which I think is like an archetype which isn't followed enough, like in media, whatever. And she's in Tower Hamlets, London, I think. And she's literally so funny. It's literally just like little sitcom 20-minute episodes. It's on BBC iPlayer. And she also did I May Destroy You. Guys, put some flipping respect on Michaela Cohen's name. But yeah, what am I talking about? I'm getting confused between Michaela Cohen and flipping Cynthia Erivo. Cynthia Erivo was in Chewing Gum, and she was the sister of the main character. I've literally forgotten her name. And she was like, and she played this like, I don't know, like religious sister who would always snitch on the main character. Anyways, I just love Cynthia Erivo now. I just think she's so like wise, and she reminds me of like a wise woman that I would go to for help, or if I need someone to, if I feel like she could give me like a love spell. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
No, literally.
Go forth, young child. I feel like that would come out of her mouth.
Yeah, I just find her like vibe and her tone so like soothing.
Yes. Oh my god.
I just feel like really like whole when I listen to her or like watch her do anything. I'm like, yeah. Like you said that.
I go into a trance.
Like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
That is literally as well. That is someone who knows like what they're doing. Like they know their craft so perfectly. And you know what? Like I think listen. Yeah, you put Ariana Grande in Wicked, but going against Cynthia Erivo, like obviously they're not going against each other, but like wow, it just like Cynthia Erivo is actually just so incredible.
Because like when the whole Wicked like promo was coming out and people were like, oh, Ariana Grande as Glinda, but they weren't putting any respect on Cynthia Erivo's name. And then now everyone wants to be hopping, skipping and jumping on her schlong. But babes, like from the beginning, she's always been a person who knew about her craft, knew about her talent.
Yeah.
And
so passionate about it.
About it. Okay. Guys, that's all the time we have. But Meg's gonna give us her hired fired for Evolution.
Yeah, so who do you think? Basically, if you've never listened before, Hired Fired is a segment we do where we say who's hired, who's done the job amazingly, who's evolved amazingly, or who's been fired, who needs to stop evolving and just stick to one thing. Just
literally stop evolving and perish. I'm joking. They just need to stop evolving.
Just stop changing.
Stop now.
Wow. I don't even know because I feel like I'm always in support of evolution, even if actually no, not always, because some people really do evolve.
What about Elon Musk?
That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not in support of that.
Do you think he should carry on evolving?
No, fired. But I hired. I'm gonna say Timothée Chalamet because I have been such a fan of him for like. Probably since like 2017, 2018. So I've been evolving with him, and I really see. And I'm like when he said he was in pursuit of greatness, I was like, I really
that
like
was
that.
amazing.
That was so inspirational.
That was
I'm
so
not even
raw.
I was literally like, I'm sad, and I was like, maybe I do want to act. I'm like,
no, it's all the edits that come out of it, and it's
cheers.
I'm gonna find one and share it to the Instagram because I've literally got goosebumps on my legs.
All the edits that are like. Maybe it's like a sin or something that I shouldn't say that. Maybe it's prideful, but I don't care. I want to be one of them. And then he names all the people, and like the edits have the little clips of them.
He
insane,
ate so much,
insane,
crazy.
Do you have any recommendations for the little interns?
Any songs you've been listening to? Any movies that you've been thinking? Yeah, I need to share this with someone.
I mean. I've been listening to a lot of Take That songs, understandably, because Take That musical, and I actually do think that more people need to remember how fun Take That are.
Yes,
it's just a lot of fun, and if you want to have fun, like listen to Take That
and watch Better Man.
Yeah, so true. I actually haven't watched Better Man. I'm so fake. What is the movie I've watched? I know that there's one I'm thinking of, but I can't. I'm just gonna go straight into my letterbox. Sorry,
Yay!
I'm giving film, bro. Yo.
Plug your letterbox.
My letterbox is just my name. It's just Megan Critchley, and the 1994 Little Women is something I watched recently, and I would recommend going back. I mean, speaking of Timothée Chalamet, Laurie King, Greta Gerwig's Little Women is still my favourite. That has got a very special place in my heart. But love Winona Ryder's Jo. So go watch that if you're fancying a bit of a throwback that you might have forgotten about because everybody just thinks about the 2019 one.
Yeah, amazing. Do you want to plug your show as well, Meg?
And plug your stuff. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at MEGONTHERADIO. That's just my little radio Instagram, which is my little passion project. If you want to come and see a musical at some point, come and see Tick Tick Boom in May. I'm producing it. That's fun. And yeah, I feel like that's all my plugging.
So exciting. Well, thank you for coming in, Meg.
Literally, thank you so much. It's been so fun.
The first ever guest.
I'm so honoured.
So are we. We're so honoured to have you here. Big fans.
Slay. I'm a big fan of you.
Guys, there's so much love. There was tension at the beginning.
Now it's love. Evolution. Hey, full circle moment.
And we're all saying evolution now. Revolution. So
making Molly feel comfy.
Inclusive space.
Literally. Okay, well, we'll see you all next Monday then.